Good morning. Today we are going to study lateral earth pressure. Soil mass, when the slope is very flat, it is safe. As the slope goes on increasing or the slope gets steeper, the soil, there are possibilities that soil may fail. So in that case, we provide flat slopes. But in some locations it is not possible to provide very flat slope, as due to the location criteria there is no space available for the flat slope. So in that case we need to provide steeper slopes, but also we need to consider the failure conditions also. So in that case we provide retaining walls. So with the help of retaining walls, we provide the lateral support to the soil mass. Retaining walls retain the soil on the back side, and this soil mass is called as backfill. The top of soil, it may be horizontal or it may be inclined. This excess soil mass which is present above the horizontal plane on the top of the retaining wall is called as surcharge, and this angle of inclination is given by I. So this is the backfill, surcharge and angle of inclination I, or it is also given by beta. So the soil retained on the backfill or the backside of the retaining wall exerts some soil pressure or the earth pressure on the retaining wall. So to design the retaining wall, we need to first compute the intensity of the lateral earth pressure. Now basically there are three categories of lateral earth pressure. First one, at rest pressure. Second one, active pressure, and third one, passive pressure. So at rest pressure occurs only when the soil is very stable or there is no movement or there is no rotation. So in that case the pressure exerted is called as at rest earth pressure, and in that case the retaining walls are also very stable, and they are restrained for against rotation or against any movement with the help of this basement slab. So this is an example for basement slab, where the basement walls are restrained with the help of basement slab, and the soil pressure exerted on these walls are earth pressure at rest. So this is an example, and also bridge abutment is an example of earth pressure at rest, whereas the abutments are supported by the bridge deck slab. So in that case there are no chances of movement or rotation of the abutment, so that case the soil exerts a earth pressure at rest. And the earth pressure at rest coefficient is denoted by K naught, where K naught is equal to 1 minus sin phi, whereas phi is nothing but the angle of shearing resistance of the soil. Now moving forward towards the active earth pressure, and previously at rest pressure there is equilibrium condition. Since there is no failure, the equilibrium condition is satisfied. Now next condition, active earth pressure. In active earth pressure the soil tends to move, or the soil tends to stretch horizontally due to the movement of wall. The soil is tending to stretch horizontally due to the outward movement of the wall away from the soil mass. So in this case the pressure exerted is active earth pressure. Now active earth pressure coefficient is denoted by Ka, whereas Ka is equal to 1 minus sin phi divided by 1 plus sin phi. Now in this case plastic equilibrium exists due to the soil mass is on verge of failure or on the verge of failure, as the soil is or the wall is moving away and the soil is at rest condition and it just move away so that it will fail. We'll move forward to the passive earth pressure. In case of passive earth pressure, the wall is moving towards the soil mass, thereby compressing the soil mass. The soil mass is tending to compress and it is going to move upward. So in that case, passive earth pressure is exerted by the soil mass on the retaining wall. The coefficient of passive pressure is given by Kp, where Kp is equal to 1 plus sin phi divided by 1 minus sin phi. Another example we can see of passive earth pressure is of anchor blocks. The pressure exerted on the anchor blocks is an example of passive earth pressure. Now to compare both the active and passive earth pressure, we will see one common diagram. Now the soil mass present on the right hand side of the wall exerts active earth pressure as the wall is moving away, or the wall movement is towards the left side. So therefore the soil present over here exerts an active earth pressure, whereas the soil present on this side is compressing, therefore it exerts passive earth pressure on the wall. So this is a common example where we can see the both active earth pressure and passive earth pressure. Now we will see the variation of pressure. Now variation of pressure, for that we will define an equilibrium condition. Now point A denotes the active earth pressure since the movement of wall is away from the soil mass, and point C denotes the passive earth pressure since the wall movement is towards the soil mass. Now we can see that active earth pressure is minimum and passive earth pressure is maximum, and B denotes the earth pressure at rest. So here we can see as the wall is moving away, the pressure gets decreased and the failure of soil mass occurs, and it gives rise to active earth pressure. Whereas the soil mass gets compressed, it also increases the amount of pressure, and this pressure is known as passive earth pressure. This arrow indicates the movement of wall, whereas here there is no movement of wall. That is, the wall is restrained from rotating and any movement. So we studied three types of pressure, that is earth pressure at rest, second one was active earth pressure, and third one was passive earth pressure.